Welcome to our project. It is about Breakbook Americas, which was located in Houston, Texas, USA. This project was an event that occurred during the 17th through the 19th of October 2017. So a little background on Breakbook. It is an organization that hosts annual specialized events in order to focus on business development and make new cargo connections and strategy. These events are hosted for over 15,000 guests every year. The project goal is to give these people a hub to make connections with shippers, carriers, forwarders, and other heavy transport organizations such as trucking companies. The event also offers workshops, seminars given by guest speakers and specialists for the customers of Breakbook ecosystem. Breakbook hosts 5 events every year in different places around the world. These projects are held in Shanghai, China, Bremen, Germany, Houston, Texas, in America, Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, and Abu Dhabi, UAE.
There are several factors that affect project selection. A project is normally authorised as a result of one or more of the following: market demand, a business need, a customer request, a technology advance, or a legal requirement. Project selection is a process that assesses each project idea and selects the project with the highest priority. Priorities are still suggestions at this stage of the process. Projects are composed of processes. A process is a series of actions bringing about a result. In order to prioritise projects, a weighted matrix scoring model should be drawn. This is known as the benefit measurement method. The model assists in weighting of priority of elements of different project ideas and allow for comparison upon completion. In the interview we carried out, the project manager stated that a priority matrix was not a component used for her project selection. Project definition: initiation, scope, planning, scope definition, scope verification, and scope change control are 5 major project scope processes. The project scope or end result of the project we interviewed for was to recreate the annual hub for new relationships between heavy transport specialists, shippers, carriers, and others to form and encourage business development, logistics transactions, and new cargo relations through a 3-day event setting in Houston, Texas in October 2017 for approximately 8,000 attendees with 350 exhibitors. The purpose of a scope statement is to clearly define deliverables for the end user. It is the basis for future project decisions. Breakbook America did not use a scope statement. This led to difficulties when the participants got confused about the deliverables. As the event developed, plans had to be increased and decreased based on how the sales revenue was tracking. When the project was facing sales issues, event operations and content spend was scaled back. In times like that, it is necessary to spend more on marketing if sales are tracking light. Similarly, in times when the team was ahead of budget on sales, the team was more flexible in terms of adding content or special features to the event. Project management structure. An example of one project management structure is a functional structure. The functional structure is the most common organizational structure used today. Under this type of structure, employees are grouped according to a specialized set of roles. Functional structures operate well in stable environments where strategies are not subject to change. Working under these conditions requires a performance management system that allows the promotion of individual skills within the functional area, increasing motivation. However, although functional group might have great work ethic, the level of integration might be compromised. A contrary example is the matrix structure. This structure brings together managers from different departments to work towards an accomplished goal. Implementing this organizational structure in a business can lead to an efficient exchange of information. Departments work closely together and communicate with each other frequently to organize issues.
So in this section we're going to talk about project planning. As the project is repeated annually, Breakbook Americas adopt the same formatting as planning every year. So Ms. McIntyre uses a work breakdown structure with deliverables that are key to put together the project. This structure shows us visually how the scope is broken down into sections that are more manageable for the team to comprehend, as well as break down the project to provide further detail and definition. This is used as a tool for management through the life cycle so that total work scopes such as define the definition that is easy understood, manageable, so the responsibility and authority that can be assigned throughout the project, and you can estimate it, so how long it's going to be, giving independent tasks, so medium interface, which with our dependence on other ongoing elements, integratable, integrates with other projects, measurable, can be used to measure the progress of the project together. It is adaptable, so it's flexible and you can add or take to the project if needed. So in addition to this, we're going to talk about risk management. By dividing risk management into 4 steps, it should show how risk should be identified, analysed and assessed for the project. So first of all, we're going to talk about identification. What are the risks? The second of all, we're going to talk about assessment. What are the likelihoods of these risks happening and how severe will the impact be? 3, you will have to learn how to control them. So what can we do to reduce the impact of risk? And 4, monitoring the situation. Has it changed and is there any new risks emerging? With the next section being project control, controlling projects is highly important as it follows for significant and timely information to be maintained at a level to satisfy the needs of all relevant stakeholders. Project control involves the measuring project performance regularly to be able to identify any variances for the original plan. A project's performance success highly depends on the effectiveness of the project's planning. The design of a control system is therefore an extremely important element of a project and not only allows the project manager to ensure that the different activities are being executed according to plan. So when closing a project, PMBOK says that the closing process is a completion of the project or contractual obligations. So in order for Ms. McIntyre to close a project, they review how the event went, they discuss the pros and cons of the actual event, what was executed well, and what could have been improved for the next year. Completion of the work is checked and there's assurance that it was executed well, and this is all wrapped up in a meeting at the end of the event.
We have a couple of recommendations that should help make the project management process more effective and efficient. First of all, considering that break bulk events takes place every year, the project manager has developed a general project scope which has been reused and adapted to each new project. While to date each event has been successful, this poses a future risk that could hinder the results of a project and make it more difficult to motivate the team members. It is important for the project manager to acknowledge that each project is unique and is also context sensitive.
Celebration, you don't.
Okay, hold on. Now that we have finished the project, it calls for a celebration.